So I'm sure they'll enjoy having a little coin put into their pocket after some nice matches and some hard work. We're going to see Chinese again in this game. Chinese will be the order of the day for Spring. He's gotten them 2 out of the 3 matches we've seen. It will be Chinese and Spanish in this game, which will give us an interesting combinations of civs. Daniel will get Chinese as well, and in this case, we are actually going to see mirrored civs, but not mirrored on the map. Belgium in the north of the map is going to be taking on Spring in the north of the map, and that will be Chinese for Spring and Spanish for Belgium. On the south of the map, we'll have Miguel playing as the Spanish, and across from Miguel will be Project Belgium as the Chinese. So it's going to be an interesting setup because it will be Spanish versus Chinese on each side of the map. It's quite a long distance if you're thinking about a Spanish tower masterpiece from Project Belgium, but maybe he's willing to go that distance, guys, because look at this. 2 villagers on that wood. It might not mean anything. We're still very early in the Dark Age. He can easily transition a villager over now and still be on schedule, I think, wood-wise. But I don't know. 2 vills on wood is usually indicative of an all-in crazy tower push. Even I can pull off that build, so I know Belgium is going to pull it off beautifully if he goes for it. But it's a long walk to get over to the blue player's base, and if he does tower up Spring, he would find a front wood line that he can hit pretty hard. He would find potentially a way into the back of this economy. Maybe he can get toward this gold. It's not an easy map to masterpiece with towers, but this stone actually could be the saving grace for Spring if he has to defend versus a tower push. Look at Spring luring in 2 boars at the same... Did he just lure 2 boars with 1 vill? Yeah, he did. Oh, Killer B. Come on, man. Stop talking about tower rushes that could come and start showing the beautiful double boar lure from Spring. Dang, man, that's so cool. Spring putting on a show. To the south of Spring is his teammate Miguel. Miguel as the Spanish with 3 vills on the back wood line. He's luring in 1 boar at a time. Noob. You're luring 1 boar at a time. You're wasting. You're wasting, man. That's not efficient. Miguel will bring this boar in and drop it under his TC. My map is okay, but like GG start, says Spring. Double boar lure with 1 vill. That's right, guys. I think we got to make a little replay of that one. That one was really, that was a pretty cool little double boar lure from Spring. Spring's got 4 vills on the front wood line. He might try to get out some early militia into man-at-arms. His opponent, Belgium, is still thinking about those towers because, well, I guess he's still thinking about it because he is still taking wood with 2 vills. I would expect Belgium to be up on 18 or 19 vills if he's going for the tower masterpiece here. But, you know, he's a pro. He's a pro level guy, so his build order is what you should follow, not my suggestions. A couple more vills coming out for Belgium. He'll send them out to the back wood line. He's already Xing resources on his opponent's map, so that could be what his plan is going to be. You know, Chinese are kind of notorious for being a little slow in the early game, and, you know, Spanish with a fast tower rush could really take advantage of that. Loom coming in for Miguel on 20 villagers. He is by no means, you know, going up at a crazy early time, but it looks like he'll be up just a few moments after the other Spanish player, Project Belgium. Miguel's build here looks like scouts to me. I don't think it's towers. He's got 2 lumber camps down, which does not really indicate a tower push. He's been on wood with 3 vills. If he was going to make a tower push, it would be a lot more of a rounded tower push with a little military along with it. Whereas Belgium's tower push is just going to be like balls to the wall, bunch of villagers, probably no military whatsoever along with it for quite a while. 7 vills forward for the Spanish player Belgium, and this could be a real problem for Spring. Spring's got to scout it. He's got to figure out what's going on. We talked about the security, maybe the release valve of this back stone. Spring definitely has identified that because he's pushing deer over there. But he's going to need to transition, I think, to that back stone or this back stone quite quickly. Spanish player is coming his direction, and so far, Spring is none the wiser. He can see the scout. Sometimes the scout can trigger you or can tip you off to incoming towers, but it doesn't look like Spring knows. Spring is none the wiser to this tower push. The first tower is already halfway down. The second tower is coming up. Spring's going to come and rush it down. Belgium here needs a quick wall. He is going to quick wall. He's going to need to get one more panel. Quick walls, quick walls.
Quick walls, quick
Quick
walls.
wall, quick wall. Fail wall.
What is doing?
Belgium will get the tower up, and he will get maybe both of the towers up, and Spring's going to have to go back. Spring actually getting a couple villagers almost walled in there, and the scout of Belgium will come over to make things even worse. So almost early enough to dive in for Spring to knock one of those towers down, but he is now on the run. 2 villagers dead, and that is going to be a real big disadvantage for him. Feudal Age comes in, but the damage has already been done. Both lumber camps are being hit by arrow fire, and the main goal for Spring is double-legged. Unfortunately, Spring has to even delete the barracks and build it up in a different spot. Spring is powering down stone, but he absolutely is effed. I think that's why he's saying that in the game room. He's in trouble. In the meantime, we have what looks like a scout war between Daniel and Miguel going on. Those guys are just getting their numbers up and going. So for now, those units are maybe not super meaningful. It's Belgium with the all-in crazy kamikaze almost feeling tower push that has so far really crippled Spring. Who is Project Belgium? Project Belgium is also known as Spear. He is a guy who's been playing the game for a long time. He's like 2,200 1v1. I think he's reached up to 2,300 in 1v1 rating. Really strong player who's kind of newer to the scene. Newer meaning like newer than the old school stalwarts like Miguel, who you'll know because he's been around forever. Belgium is a really, really strong player. He may crack into the elite at some point in the future. Right now, he's just he's just a high-level guy. He's just a high-level guy. His teammate Daniel is also known as D-Lamb. He's also about a 2,200 1v1 player. These guys are in a group called Alliance, in a clan called Alliance. And yeah, they're playing pretty strongly together. They certainly have a lot of an uphill battle because Miguel is probably the best team game player in this match by a good bit. But hey, it's all about what you can get done today. Project Belgium rushing down that barracks from his opponent, trying to get some value and trying to maybe get into the back of Spring's economy. Spring with a couple of prophylactic towers down and has rebuilt his eco. It looks like a good eco in some ways, but don't get it twisted. I mean, having to build another lumber camp in the back of your economy, having to build probably another barracks sometime soon, losing both of these LCs, this is really damaging from him, and it's all about what Belgium can do as a follow-up. By the way, Miguel's doing a flyby in Belgium's base, but Project B is walled up and looking pretty stout. His teammate is also walling up, and our green player Daniel is on 7 military, and they look like they're actually heading towards Spring's base. So a little 2v1 action for the Alliance boys, and oh god, this could be bad. 5 scouts rolling toward that back wood line. Spring is trying to get a tower up quickly. He is going to lose 1 villager there, but he's going to lose a lot more economy. Daniel could have dove in a bit further and tried to hit this wood line, but I suppose with just 4 scouts and soon to be 2 towers up, he's decided to wait a little bit longer. But Spring loses yet another vill, kind of adding insult to injury. He's on 29 villagers at the moment, and Project Belgium is continuing to creep closer and closer to more important resources like this berry patch. That berry patch, you can tell it was important because there were 7 villagers working on those berries. Unfortunately, those villagers are going to have to be redistributed into building farms now, which puts Spring even further behind. We've got the blacksmith coming down, which means fletching will be on the way for Belgium. Our green player Miguel, though, is getting in, or red player Miguel, is getting in some good counter raiding on Daniel. Daniel has been around the map with his scouts. He was trying to double down on Spring, and Miguel, with some phenomenal raiding, is going to take down, oh man, 1, 2, 3, I think it's four vills in that. It's hard to see that the corpse is there, but this wood line had 5 villagers on it, and now it has 1. So, I don't know. 3 or 4 vills dead there. Not 100% sure. But the Christmas war continues as our green player chases Miguel across his map and tries to clean up the last of these scouts. Good counter raiding there. Miguel getting some use of his scouts, but in the meantime, Daniel and Belgium continue to put down damage. Tower is firing away. Spring is titanicking, and oh boy. Oh, Katsuni with the overture of the Titanic there. Bringing some real... He's got pipes, man. Katsuni is awesome. Project Belgium is doing a full envelopment of his opponent's base. He's making a circle around the TC of Spring, and he's slowly creeping closer to, well, finishing this game off. Spring having to drop more farms than you can shake a stick at to try to get a food economy going. But we still don't really see Spring in a position to field a military with one unit. And, well, he's just still treading water and trying to survive. If this game is going to be won, it's going to have to be won by some really great play from Miguel over the next few minutes. Castle Age is coming for Miguel. Spring is saying he will sling Miguel. Double Stable Knights coming for Mr. Miguel, and he's going to have to really put the pedal to the metal to get some damage done. Project Belgium, in the meantime, he's not waiting for the sling and the double stable knights. He's bringing his villagers over toward Miguel. He's got to be careful, though. Yeah, as soon as he sees that castle upgrade, he's got to think about, do I really want to try to tower up a guy who's sending double stable knights at me? Maybe so. If you can get the first tower up and maybe the second tower started before the knights find you, it can work. But this is a bit risky. Daniel out in front with his scout, trying to give his teammate some information. We will see a tower up on this wood line, and if it completes, it will be quite an annoying tower. 6 villagers there are quite exposed, so we have to keep our eyes out. Knights could tear through those villagers pretty quickly, but I suppose we'll see. The second tower needs to be very quickly behind this first one for Belgium. And it doesn't look like it's going to be. He's got plenty of stone, but it looks like he's going to just build the one tower for now. Needs to wall it in. I mean, at very least. Needs a second tower or some walls. Toot sweet. Looks like second tower will be the order of the day. Katsuni, Celine Dion, Smurf confirmed. Oh, man. I love that Titanic clip from Katsuni. That makes me so happy. These towers should be in series with one another if fletching is in, and it is, so it does seem like the knights will not quite arrive in time. Project Belgium will cross-guard his towers. Both of them should be able to hit these knights. It's not super critical for Miguel. He can probably hold this position. But remember, those knights were supposed to come across the map and either punish the guy who's towering or help push back the position of Spring. They were supposed to equalize the game. And they're still back on their own base, like just trying to make the game, make that base safe. Sorry. Continued arrow fire rolling in. We will see some of these knights dying. Towers aren't going to last forever, but Project Belgium has a walled-in villager here who's repairing his tower. So Miguel continues to pump out those knights like they're going out of style, but they are a little slow here to find true damage. A little slow here to find true love. Daniel has hit the Castle Age as well. D-Lam is going to have double stable production coming. Knights rolling out slowly for him. It looks like he and Belgium are going to give up on this tower position on the front. Well, give up on succeeding there. Just let the towers do what damage they can and be as annoying as possible. I don't know, guys. I mean, I don't know if this was the right play from Belgium. It was annoying to Miguel. It slows Miguel down. Miguel's first knights are out, and they are not able to do anything offensively yet. But Belgium's going to lose 6 vills and 2 towers. I guess it buys time. I guess it can be okay. But not sure. Not sure if I love that, per se. Daniel is the guy I'm very interested in. Where is your army, Mr. Daniel? Daniel's on the way for some wheelbarrow right now. He's got 1 TC down, second town center coming in the south. He has double stable knight production coming, and those knights are headed to the middle of the map. He is going to be up against a guy with +1/+2. Remember, we were expecting Miguel to receive a bunch of sling, so it seems like he will be able to outproduce Daniel on knights for a while. Daniel needs to keep treading water. He needs to make sure he doesn't die and his teammate doesn't die. By the way, Belgium dropping down a castle. Conquistador should be coming soon. Is Project Belgium fully walled, says John T. Yep. Project Belgium has a very tightly built base. He's fully walled up at home. His castle is now up to protect the front of his eco. And I presume we will see some conquistadores coming right now. There they are. Continued damage coming in from Daniel. Oh, God. Oh, God. Spring's base here. This whole area, although there are towers, it's really quite a clandestine farmland. And just 3, 4, 5 knights rolling in are devastating Spring. punishing the slinger after all. It will be Miguel with an army of 21 who will be extremely hard to break. But as long as Daniel can wall himself up a bit, as long as Daniel can put up a bit of a defense, I think he could be okay. Interesting to note that Daniel is playing here as the Chinese. He can go into camels, and he probably should go into camels if they identify that the sling is coming in. I think he's going to identify that I can't keep up with knight production of Miguel. Continued walling coming in for our player in green. He is raiding the bejesus out of Spring. I'm GG, says Spring. Miguel says, just hide. Miguel is intent to try to win this game on his own. He's going to put Spring on his back and carry him if he has to. And he might just do it because 15, 20 knights inside of Daniel's eco right now. And Daniel is nowhere to be found. His main military is all the way on the other side of the map. And this is going to get out of hand, boys. This is going to get out of hand. Spring just needs to stay alive, guys. Just needs to stay alive, but I don't know if there's enough time because the conquistadors are coming in, the camels are coming out, and our green and orange player look like they're going to be able to stabilize this position enough. Hard to say. There's still a lot of knights left here from Miguel with lots of upgrades, but boy, I don't know. Miguel needed to do a lot more damage. He needs to continue to do damage. Spring is on 27 villagers, so although this is quite nice raiding from Miguel and his population is looking really healthy, his teammate is still kind of dead, and his teammate continues to die because Daniel leaves about 8 or 10 knights inside of Spring's base to keep the raiding going. So Project Belgium is going to bring his conks over and help stabilize the position. He and Daniel are at least in a strong position on 107 vills total, but 107 vills on the other side of things. So Miguel continues to put the pedal to the metal with a little sling coming his direction. Miguel on the way to Imp. He's going to pull back with his knights for now, maybe thinking about upgrading those units before diving back into the fray against Mr. Daniel. Daniel continues to hurt Spring and trample all over Spring's farms. Do you guys even want to see Spring's resources? I mean, he's been slinging some stuff, I think. Does he have a market? I don't actually. Yeah, there it is. So Spring has been slinging, so he has nothing in the bank, of course. But villager count on 27 is maybe as high as he's going to get for a while. More villagers will be under pressure soon. One safe gold for Spring. But that is, well, that is all he can really do right now. These are some good games, says Retro. Well, I'm glad you enjoy them. Like I said, very last-minute show match. These guys were online. I was thinking, hey, you guys are good players. You probably want to play some matches anyway. Let's put a little money on the line. Let's put a little coin in your pocket here. Right now, Project Belgium is massing up conquistadors to slowly but surely defend this base, but eventually maybe pushing out. He's going to stay at home, which is a wise choice because Miguel is roaming around on top of that hill with some monks and some knights. Daniel can't really be bothered to come home because he's too busy just killing every new villager that Spring makes. Spring still on 27 total vills. This is actually a moment you can kill this TC, and I think Daniel has identified that. Town center versus this number of knights, you might not kill it in a normal situation, but Spring has only one villager to garrison, so really nice identification here from Daniel to just dive in and kill it. I mean, that town center full of vills can probably deal with these knights, but empty of vills, well, you can see what's happening. Just getting knocked down. Doesn't have to be fast, doesn't have to be scary looking, but definitely effective. Spring hits 30 vills, but Spring is going to have to not just rebuild this economy, but also rebuild this town center. And Spring right now has no wood economy, so Spring is not rebuilding that TC at the rate we're going. He's going to have to use the market, I guess, to buy up some wood and get a town center down. But that's a big setback, man. I mean, the low efficiency of using the market, coupled with the fact that you have to rebuild a building that costs, you know, lots of wood and stone, not very bueno there. Cavalier coming from Miguel. He has been slung by his teammate Spring, and he's going to keep making this big push. If anybody could do it in this game and go 1v2 for an extended time, it could be Miguel. Belgium and Daniel need to identify what's going on. It needs to be camels and monks from Daniel, and it needs to be conquistadors microed well from Belgium. And for now, they have done okay to keep those units basically in the right spot of the map. Barracks coming down for Daniel now. The Cavalier will win the day quite handily, as you might expect. But this is not super critical yet. Those Cavalier aren't technically inside of this economy yet. And, oh boy, but Belgium's not really microing back the conquistadors. This game is still alive. There's still some hope for Miguel to bring this back. Miguel's going to win any fight he takes for the next few minutes because his Cavalier at 35 total are unmatched on the map. They're out-teching everything that Daniel and Project Belgium have. Belgium is on the way to Imp, though, and Daniel is on the way to Camels and I suppose some Pikes to go along with it. For now, Miguel has to make some hay because the sun is shining. But it's not going to last forever. Another castle coming from Belgium. If that goes up, his economy will become even more safe. If you kill that, I can get gold. Talking about those couple of knights roaming around. Very interesting game, guys. Miguel's going up to Paladin. Belgium's castle goes up. I'm thinking that the Alliance boys should be able to stabilize this one and win it. But they haven't won it yet. I mean, Daniel's on 80 vills, Belgium's on 87. They're starting to look fully bloomed and in full bloom. It will be Imperial Age for Belgium. The Spanish player is going to build a castle and then lose a castle. Cavalier bludgeoning that whole side down. Project B's military right now is 5. And oh god, Project Belgium's military is 5. He's going scale mail and pikemen. He's going to try to hold on for dear life. He needs some time, though. Oh, God. He's got 1 barracks. Project Belgium has 1 barracks that's complete and 2 more coming. He's going to need a lot more barracks if he's going to hold off these Cavalier that are now Paladin. Paladin versus Pikemen is not going to be a fun result, especially this huge number of Paladin from Miguel. Miguel has decided, he did some damage to Daniel, and it looks like he's decided that he's going to try to kill Project Belgium. These Paladin right now are going to dive in and try to finish this game. Continued walls coming in from Belgium. He's actually not walled in on the backside. Needs to quick wall this, boys.
Quick walls, quick
Quick
walls.
wall, quick wall. Fail wall.
Needs to quick wall everything here. It looks like he can get that done in time, but he's not exactly quick walling. Needs to get this last panel done before the Paladin get in. That can buy him at least a few more seconds. It looks like he'll finish it just in time. He's over chopped on this side. More quick walls coming.
Quick wall, quick wall. Fail wall.
Guys, it doesn't look like much to get a couple quick walls down, but that's going to buy him about 20 seconds of game time, maybe 30 seconds, and that's going to allow the Halb production to continue. The Halbs for now are still so overwhelmingly outnumbered that Belgium can't really even fight. He needs to back up and concede this TC, I think. He's sending in Halbs, but they're coming in batches of 3, 4, or 5, and you can see how quickly they got knocked down. He needs a bigger group of Halbs before he can engage. He needs Daniel to come over and help him. Daniel's on the way with pikes, but Belgium is going to give the GG, guys. And what a frickin' game that was. Who, after that rating from Spring, said, oh yeah, Spring and Miguel are fine? Who in their right mind could say that? Spring got diced up. He got married and divorced at the same moment. Wow, got crushed, but he started slinging Miguel. Miguel is the toast of the town in this game because he just went full night production, Imp early, Cavalier, and boom shakalaka, the Paladin finish off the game. Holy sweet baby Jesus. That was a really super, super nice game. Let's look quick at the achievements, guys. I want to see really, really quickly here how much Spring had eco-wise in that game. Sent about 5k tribute. Villager high was 41. None of these stats matter because Paladin from Miguel were enough to get the job done. Oh, baby. That was a good game. That was a very good game. We'll see another point added to the Miguel and Spring side of things. I think Miguel is done for the day. So we will try to figure something out.